Hello, everyone. It's Fred again from Notes of a Nomad, number 62 already. Wow. Today, I want to tell you about where I moved after selling SaaS, which was in South Africa. Then I relocated to Canada. And when I ended up in Toronto, that's a story we'll talk about sometime moving from South Africa to Canada. But let's keep on with my different jobs that I had. I ended up in Toronto, ultimately finding a job for NCR Comten. Comten was a organization which had been purchased in the 1970s by NCR, National Cash Register Company. You may know of them. And Comten had devices called front-end processors that worked in the IBM world, what they called their systems network architecture, or SNA, which allowed all of the devices on the computer, mainframe computer networks, to connect with each other. So that's what a front end processor did. It was in between the mainframe computer and all the peripherals like the printers and the terminals, etc. And it would gather all that information and it would process it and send it up to the mainframe computer. So Comten had devices that were front-end processors that were sold to IBM customers to replace the IBM devices. I got this job of selling their front-end processors in Toronto. I learned a couple of things while I was there. The first thing I learned was everything in North America was quarterly results. Every quarter, okay, after 3 months, how did we do? And they'd rush, say, oh, we got to get sales for this quarter. And the last few weeks of that quarter was frantic, getting all the orders in and trying to make things look good. Very short-term outlook in North America is what I noticed, which I hadn't seen in South Africa. The second thing I learned is you need to solve your customers' problems. That's what a good salesman does. They solve problems. I made a sale of a front-end processor to an organization which you may or may not know of. A lot of people in Canada would know, Rogers Communications. We installed this front-end processor in a remote site and that was to link into their mainframe computers, but it didn't work. Apparently, I was the first person in the whole of NCR Comten who sold this device to operate in this type of environment remotely. And they couldn't get it to work. After a week of people flying from the United States, St. Paul, Minnesota, coming to this location for Rogers Communication, they threw it out, said, doesn't work. So Rogers obviously canceled the order. I'd been there for almost a year, and my sales manager said, it's not your fault. We will pay you your commission for the sale, even though the sale was canceled. Within a month, I had left the company because instead of creating problems or instead of solving problems, we created problems. And that's not the objective of a salesman. So I went to another company, which I'll tell you about next week. So that was my experience with NCR Comten. I can show you that was a luggage, just one picture, I think I can find it, which was of their front-end process. It just looks like another computer device, that's all. So those were what the front-end process, big boxes that would link into the mainframe world. They would cost between 100 to 250,000, $250,000 for some of the top ones. So that's what I did when I arrived in 1985 in Toronto. So one day, maybe my grandchildren say, oh, he did that too. What did old grandpa did. I had a good week last week. We had a Agora Speakers International Ambassadors meeting, and I enjoyed it very much because we had people from around the world. There was, I think, 15 of us from Japan, India, Indonesia, also Singapore, Madagascar, Jordan, Czech Republic, Romania, the UK, Ireland, Ecuador, and myself in Canada. There was at least 14 different countries there. And it's wonderful how, as we discussed, what we're doing to promote Agora Speakers International facilities to help improve people, to improve their communications, to become better leaders, to make the world a better place. That's the mission of Agora Speakers International. So that's it for this Notes of a Nomad video. So time to say adios, au revoir. Hope you and your family and friends have a wonderful week. Bye for now from Fred and Notes of a Nomad.